Everything that happens in a match, every vehicle bought, every bullet loaded, every weapon fired, every base built, and every building destroyed, they're all decisions made by one of 100 players in the match to help their team win and earn themselves cash. Because of our cash system, every second-to-second choice has weight and value, giving you a reason to keep playing. Ultimately, we're putting high-stakes tactical team play back into all-out warfare.
There are three pillars to our tactical depth and team play: believable foundations, depth and decision-making, and player-driven all-out warfare.
From day one, we deliberately used real-world references as a foundation for everything we added to the game, from weaponry to vehicles and equipment, so that everything you see and hear in the game feels grounded and believable.
Early on in the development of our game, our animation and audio teams traveled to shooting ranges to get a better feel for how the weapons that we have in the game feel in real life. To achieve what we want with WARDOGS, just using Unreal Engine isn't enough, which is why we've built our own framework on top of Unreal that we call War Dynamics.
The War Dynamics framework enables us to accurately simulate weapon ballistics and flight models from real-world data.
We added bullet drop based on real-world ballistic coefficients, including true-to-life velocity and air resistance calculated based on each bullet's mass, diameter, and drag model.
Bullets react to different surface types with their own penetration values and ricochet potential based on ammo type, caliber, impact angle, and velocity at the point of impact.
For our helicopters, we hired and flew in an aerospace engineer to make sure our flight mechanics were grounded in realism and have the depth that we want to provide for skilled pilots before making tweaks to make general flying more approachable to more people. And that's important to understand. We're in no way using realism in the pursuit of becoming the world's most realistic shooter. Instead, we're using it as the foundation to lay a believable depth to the game and make every loadout decision have a lasting consequence for your account balance.
In terms of audio, our priority is that the mix makes you feel grounded in the ambience and believability of the world, whilst balancing that with subtly dialed up gameplay cues for key information when you're going to need it most. From hearing a volume distinction between the friendly and enemy footsteps, to subtle confirmation audio of each successful shot on the target, without the need for the UI clutter. These gameplay-driven audio cues allow you to react and adapt to threats in the heat of the moment. Another example is whiz-bys. From hearing a single whiz-by shot, you can understand the grouping of the caliber, whether it's small, medium or large, and if the weapon was suppressed, and the direction of the shooter. So for 9mm rounds, they will sound and feel less threatening, as they deal lower damage and have a different sonic signature compared to a sniper cracking a 50 cal round right past your head, or an artillery shell about to impact right next to you. And you won't need a PhD in ballistics or an ammo chart on your second monitor either. The in-game vendor will only show you the ammo types that can be packed into magazines that are compatible with your weapon.
However, every loadout choice comes with trade-offs that will affect your playstyle, which you need to consider when building your loadout.
When you spawn in, the first thing you'll see in your team spawn is the equipment vendor.
WARDOGS doesn't force you into playing set roles. Instead, you make choices and unlock items based on how you like to play. With loads of weapons, equipment, and items available to choose from, you have to carefully consider your inventory size, balancing how much you want to carry, which affects your weight and movement speed, and most importantly, balancing the cost of your overall loadout.
And that's why when we say depth, we don't just mean gunplay. The depth in WARDOGS is in your personalized strategy of how you want to play and to try and make a profit.
Knowing that an RPG with rockets could cost you about $3,000, but could earn you $10,000 if you destroy a packed enemy little bird, forces you to make split-second decisions between high-cost, high-reward shots and throwing your cash away if you miss.
Remember, team play items and actions that help your team win, such as purchasing bandages to help teammates or transporting players back to the control zone, are key for making cash and leveling up your account. However, no one strategy is king. With 100-player warfare and every player playing in their own way across 3 teams, WARDOGS becomes this unpredictable sandbox you have to adapt to.
Ultimately, WARDOGS is a game about choices, never locking people into set ways to play each match. Instead, allowing 100 players to decide how they want to play on an ever-evolving battlefield.
So how do you play WARDOGS? How would you describe your playstyle?
At the minute I'm playing Recon, playing a sniper, I want to pop heads. I'm so good at listening to the game and thinking enemy out there, and knowing roughly if I can take a shot safely.
I'm typically a team's pilot, dropping people off, bringing supplies to the front lines. I get a load of money for people surviving the landings, and then every kill and assist that they do in the zone gives money back to me. So if they kill a person, I get some of the money for that.
Builder is probably my top one. Early game, your base isn't going to be doing much, but later in the game, you can really drastically swing the course of the whole match.
I play mostly assault. I play quite aggressive, pushing people, killing people. Obviously you count as more people in the hot zone, you get more cash as well, so it's like you are benefiting the team, but you're also benefiting yourself in a way because you're earning more money by being in the hot zone and doing actions in the hot zone.
I like to think my playstyle is quite unique. Drop down at the top of a tower, try and sweep the tower, get in and out, get the code and then move on to the next one. Get that tower code and then they can call the hot zone to that tower. I may not be playing a massive role, but it'll be the smaller roles like that which kind of help determine when the waves and beats and paces of the game can change over the course of the match.
When all of the roles coalesce over a single thing, that's when it is like peak WARDOGS. When you get a hot zone being called to a base, you've got people breaching, you've got tanks rolling up, you've got infantry fighting inside and around the base.
I can be a bastard to people building bases on the enemy teams or build like the anti-aircraft missile launcher. I will just swap over to the attack helicopter, the Havoc. It's a game changer.
Everything's happening. Artillery are raining down. People are scrambling to fire the mortars in defence. Like, there's people parachuting in. But you're desperate for more ammo in the base, and suddenly a logistics driver smashes through the gates. And I don't think it's down to one role. It's down to what happens when they all come together.
This blend of real risk and sandbox freedom, when combined with our tactical depth and mix of realism and approachability, means WARDOGS is bringing high-stakes team play and depth back into all-out warfare.
I was flying with this guy. I kind of didn't recognize his name. I was like, I haven't seen you around. Who are you? And it's like, oh, I'm from the community. It was like the first community player that I got to speak with. And then I was like, what do you think about the game? He's like, yeah, mate, it's banging. Yeah, no, it's really good. Performance is good as well. And I was like, get the little goosies, the tingles. It was the moment for me when I was like, maybe we're doing something good. Maybe it's something that people will like.
As of last week, we've begun running extremely limited closed alpha tests with specific players. We know there's a huge demand for wider access, but to be clear, these tests are not a AAA marketing stunt to build hype. Instead, we're running specific hardware configurations, server regions, and stress testing specific mechanics to ensure stability for everyone. If you want the best chance of helping us playtest WARDOGS, sign up with a QR code at the end of the video, and make sure you wishlist WARDOGS on Steam.